Welcome to the Success Mindset Podcast, where we empower you to unlock your full potential and achieve greatness. Join us as we explore the transformative power of your mindset and uncover the strategies that will help you conquer your goals and create the life that you've always dreamed of. So buckle up, get inspired, and let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to the Success Mindset Podcast, where we dig deep into the mental wiring behind leadership success and occasionally poke fun at how serious we try to sound while we're doing it. This is where mindset meets movement and maybe some muttered sarcasm along the way. Today's topic, mindset maintenance, staying positive in tough times, because let's be real, sometimes it feels like your calendar and your inbox and your toddler all teamed up to test your patience, but you're still here. And that's the point. Positivity isn't about pretending everything's perfect. It's about refusing to let chaos rent space in your head for free. I've had days where my to-do list looked like a grocery receipt and my brain decided now was the time to reflect on every awkward conversation since 2008. But in those moments, right, I learned that mindset isn't a luxury, it's life support for leaders. Here's the big idea. Positivity isn't a glittery sticker that you slap on problems. It's a powerful tool. When pressure rises, a strong mindset doesn't just keep you sane, it keeps your team from Googling other jobs. Imagine a team meeting after losing a major client. The leader walks in, claps their hands and says, "Well, at least we didn't lose the coffee machine." Everybody laughs and tension breaks. Well, space opens up for new strategy. Humor disarms. Positivity refocuses, and suddenly there's progress. Leaders who master this aren't cheerleaders, they're mindset engineers. They design better energy under pressure. So that's what makes the difference. Dr. Martin Seligman, the grandfather of positive psychology, says that optimism can be learned, which is good news for all of us who were born sounding like Eeyore. Brene Brown, she reminds us that emotional resilience isn't about being stoic, it's about being real and resourceful. Feel the feelings, but don't let them drive your leadership bus off a cliff. Now, when you combine these two, you get a leader who says, "Yep, this stinks, but let's figure out what we can do," after we grab coffee because caffeine counts as strategy. Picture this. A manager finds out 3 of their best team members just gave notice. Instead of panicking, they walk into the next meeting and say, "Well, looks like the universe thinks that I need to get better at onboarding." Cue laughter, right? Cue strategy. Cue rebuilding with purpose. Or the small business owner dealing with supply chain nightmares. They joke on a client call, "We've entered the Hunger Games of shipping logistics, but don't worry, we're winning." That levity builds trust. Humor signals confidence, even when the circumstances say otherwise. A team launched a product and got crickets. The team was discouraged. Budget was tight. Confidence was on vacation. Instead of spiraling, though, the leader said, "All right, folks, let's autopsy this thing," but with kindness. They laughed, they learned, they relaunched. 3 weeks later, conversions were up 40%, but even better, the vibe was back. Why? Because the leader refused to treat failure like a funeral. They used mindset and a little levity to turn frustration into focus. There was this team where every Monday felt like a funeral march. Low energy, high burnout. The leader decided to start something new though. Monday Mayhem Moments. Each team member had to share one ridiculous or funny thing that happened to them the past week. And someone had shared about accidentally replying all with a love note to their spouse. Another, they got locked out of their house wearing Star Wars pajamas. Laughter returned, so did creativity. Deadlines got met. Why? Because the culture shifted from stress to shared humanity. Sometimes the best thing that you can do is stop taking everything so seriously, even when it is serious. So let's talk about some take-home tricks. Start your next meeting with a "what made you laugh this week" moment, and then talk strategy. Write down one tiny win each day. Yes, surviving a Zoom call without interrupting your own mute button counts. So instead of saying "this is a disaster," try this: an unexpected growth opportunity with bonus character development. Watch a stand-up comedy set or something and ask yourself what made it so effective. And then apply that energy to your next team talk. And then send one Slack message that both is encouraging and ridiculous. Example, you crushed that presentation harder than a toddler crushes goldfish crackers. Obviously, that's silly and funny, but sometimes just throwing that out there helps keep team morale. So you've got the tools now, ways to lead through tough times without losing your edge or your joy. You heard how humor plus hope plus clear-headed action can completely shift your culture. Being positive isn't about ignoring the mess, it's about refusing to let the mess make you bitter. Because let's be honest, nobody wants to follow a leader who's wound tighter than last year's Christmas lights. If you're hungry for more, go to thecoachingforme.com to check out our latest blog post, explore mindset articles, or grab a course that will get your leadership out of neutral and into gear. Next week's episode is about the daily disciplines that create unstoppable growth. Listen, tough times are going to come. That's not negotiable, but how you respond, that's where the gold is. You don't need to have it all together. You just need to stay in the game with your head up, your focus steady, and maybe a good meme or two in your back pocket. You were made for more than burnout and bland meetings. You were made to influence, to inspire, and to impact, even when life feels like it's testing your script without rehearsal. Keep your mindset strong, keep your humor close, and keep choosing to lead, even when you feel like hiding under the desk. I believe in you, so now go lead like it. Until next time, keep the fire burning, and maybe even keep the coffee brewing too. Thank you for joining us on another enlightening episode of the Success Mindset Podcast. Remember, you have the power to shape your destiny and create the life that you desire. If you're ready to take action, subscribe to the podcast and never miss an episode. Share it with your friends and your family and help us build a community of like-minded individuals striving for success. Until next time, stay motivated, keep learning, and let's continue to achieve greatness together.